I speak a lot about what holds us back. They're stories. They're all stories of scarcity, but they appear in all different domains in our lives. So an easy one to think of is, you know, I am a spiritual person, therefore, having material goods is a sign of being an immoral or a surface or just a materialistic person. That's such an incredible lie, right? But it's one that you can justify you not going to the certain level to you agreeing to live this level of poverty and not let yourself push through. And the ability of you to grow is the ability that you are able and raise your capacity to look at the lies and stories that you've carried from yourself since you're young and that you are willing to expose now. And I say now more than ever because I keep referring to the context of the world, right? All the self growth internally means nothing if you cannot bring it into this world at this time. And just the other day, I spoke about that if you're not feeling any kind of intensity or a squeeze or just this feeling of urgency, you are either your head is completely buried in the sand or that's how far you are living in the story of your own denial. You I did it for years. I did it for years. I relied on this mythology that I created within my marriage to allow the facts of the story, the glaringly clear facts of what was actually happening, to go ignored. I just wouldn't look at them because I was my head was so far buried under the sand, and the sand was made of 1,000 little stories that I inhabited and told myself in order just to make my life livable at the time, to stay in the lie. Exposing and looking at the lie is not easy because, first of all, you have to become completely vulnerable to yourself. Our ego puts up a very strong fight, does not want to see the truth of that, and or gives you the excuse to default into victimhood, right? So how easy is it for us to say, you either reflect it outwards where, like, oh, my ex made me be like that, or you deflect it inwards where you start lashing yourself and the critic inside says you're just a piece of shit anyway, which really is the cowardly way out. The real gift that you give yourself in remaking yourself every day and being able to hear the voice of God with more and more clarity is that you look at the truth of what is. And we are human, and our truth is messy, but the truth has a beauty all its own. So, what I offer you today is I am entering into a period of diving deep into another series of lies that I think until now I wasn't ready to uncover. And, I have always said that I'm going to be transparent here and I will continue to be. But at the same time, I don't want to speak out a trigger before I really know what's going on. But I will share with you that there has been a mythology that I have lived my whole life where, in order to combat feeling invisible, I act out. And so that's been true of certainly my adolescence. In rebellion, my rebel comes out, and my very highly held value of being bold and not just blending in, right? So these are all kind of answers to that. But I would say even beyond that is, where is my value without the bells and whistles? Where is my value without my outgoing personality? Where is my value in just existing? I've done other videos, and I'll link one below, about what is the difference between defining yourself by what you do, and who you are. Those are not the same. But it is a very easy definition to define ourselves by our activities, what we've accomplished, what we've achieved, and then allot ourselves that much love in accordance to what we completed. I absolutely still do that a little bit. Did I check off all what I wanted to do today? Amazing. You should feel good about yourself, girl. You didn't get it done? You fucking suck. So, but at the same time, don't you want the edge of pushing as hard as you possibly can to grow and change and to push your capacity past what you think you can do. And in that way, you know that the next day you can do even more. You know, my 15-second rule of if you can do just 15 seconds more of any physical activity in 4 days, you've done a whole minute more. And that sounds like nothing, but minute after minute after day after day after month, and you've climbed the fucking mountain. So I cover a lot of topics here, but it really comes down to what is the next level that you're willing to expose with yourself? Where are you willing to stand with yourself and look at the story and the truth of the story? Not the embellished nightmare part of the story, not the softened daydream of the story, but the real, core, raw truth. It is not an easy place to stand, or if you touch it, you want to run. You want to back into one of those behaviors. But I'm inviting you today to share the space with me and stand in it. And when you stand in it and you feel that energy move in you, where is the energy in your body? Do you feel the intense urge to run, to soothe, to sedate, to smooth over, to just turn your eye from this thing that's really hard to look at? I hear you. All of those triggers will be there, but identifying where that energy starts will be really helpful. And the longer you can stand in that place and recognize, the more you're going to be able to own and then fucking push through to the next place you're supposed to go, that you're guided to go to. So I invite you all along on my trip. I'm sure there will be visits to the pit. I'm sure there will be tears. I'm sure there will be over interpretations and impersonalizations of others' actions, because I'm going to be in this place where I've decided to untie the personality part of this lesson to really discover what I'm supposed to discover. I am absolutely scared, but I also know it's necessary. So, it's like anything else. As long as you don't let the fear stop you and arrest you, you're still doing what you're supposed to do in whatever doses you're capable of doing it. I stand there with you today. I invite you to stand and see where you feel it. And I will see you tomorrow.